And welcome back to Feminism 101. This episode is going to be called Men's Take on Feminism. So, as many of you probably know, men have a pretty negative view on feminism. That's an overall general statement. Of course, it's not all men, but it's more like most of them just don't understand what it is. But then it comes to the extreme men who really hate feminism and are basically misogynists. A misogynist is someone who hates women. The definition from Merriam-Webster is that misogyny is the hatred of women. Misogyny is a phenomenon that is very unconsciously followed in the United States. According to Modern Misogyny by Kristin Anderson, she mentions how society views our era as post-feminism, which isn't the case at all. We haven't nearly reached anything that we are capable of reaching and that we need to reach. And that argument is supported by how our society just naturally follows kind of misogynistic views, like how women take a guy's last name, and that's, if you go away from that, that's kind of very out of the norm. Just kind of an example of how we still need feminism and we need people to speak out and go against that to kind of limit this misogynistic views. I'm not saying that all men or everyone who's against feminism is a misogynist. That's not the case at all. But a lot of the oppression that women face and that feminism faces is caused by men. More specifically, the wage gap. I talked about in the previous video, how women make 20% less than men. That's caused by men who are running these corporations, and they're actually hindering the growth of overall economic prosperity, for the country. According to Dalia Hakura's book called Inequality, Gender Gaps, and Economic Growth, if both genders were paid equally, then this country would have a 5% economic growth overall. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but when you're talking billions of dollars. In addition to the wage gap, another way that women are oppressed by men is through sexual assault. I'm sure most people are aware of the Hollywood stories that have been coming out lately, which is just one prime example of sexual assault, and how men holding more power in Hollywood cause all these actresses to have to hold back their truth and stay oppressed. And that's just another reason why we need feminism and why we need people to speak out and tell their stories, so that other people feel that they can too, and that things like this can come to an end. Now, I know that I'm kind of saying a lot of the negatives of men who hate feminism and all that, but trust me, I know that that's not completely true. I know that there are tons of men who are feminists, who support feminism, support women, all that. So similar to my last video, I decided to go out and ask a couple college students what they thought, and here it is. What do you think feminism is?
Feminism is about equality and just all around. I think it's not just a two-gender thing. It's just equality for all people, and I think it goes beyond gender.
Do you feel that women should be treated differently in certain circumstances because of their gender?
I think that's a really tricky question. As long as it's not discriminatory. I mean, if, for example, there are people who might hire a man over a woman. I don't think that's right. But there are certain circumstances, such as maternity leave. If someone needs to take maternity leave, they should be allowed to take that. Whereas with a man, I don't really think maternity leave is necessarily necessary. But yeah.
Do you support it, or do you disagree with it?
No, I support it. I support it wholeheartedly.
What do you think feminism is?
Feminism is fighting for equal rights from both men and women.
Alright, do you support it or do you disagree?
I support it.
And do you feel that women should be treated differently because of their gender?
No.
Alright, so that is my take on men's view of feminism. Like I said before, I know I'm not trying to group all men together. I'm just talking about the very extreme versions and misogynists who do oppress women. But I mean, as the interview show, obviously that is not the case, and obviously new generations are showing progress, which I mean is what we can hope for. It means that feminism activists are doing what they need to do. So yeah, that's it for this video. See you next time.